Welcome back to That's So Nova. My name is Nova. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Today we're going to be putting together this cute little bowl cozy that I found when I was looking for rulers in Joann's and at my quilt shops. They have these, Creative Grids have these bowl cozies that are in small and large, and the templates fit in within each other, which makes it really easy for storage. And I wanted to make some bowl cozies as a gift to a friend that is not feeling well. So in my head, I'm like, let's make some bowl cozies, make homemade chicken soup, put it in like a mason jar, and here we go. But then I thought this will be a great holiday gift, birthday gift, you just moved into a new house gift, just because gift, or just to have for yourself. So I'm going to be making this small. And the small is a nice size. It's really nice size. It can fit anywhere from a small to a medium-sized bowl, a nice little cereal bowl, or it could be for, again, a nice soup bowl. It is nice and deep, and it has nice and curved, so that way it can hold your bowl really nice and well. Before beginning this project, I highly recommend you to use all cotton materials, cotton batting, cotton thread, and cotton fabric. If your fabric has any metallics in it, I would not recommend this. These bowl cozies are meant to be going into a microwave, and having any kind of polyester or metallic in it can cause a fire, and we don't want that, right? We know for no fires. So with this one, I used some cotton that I was laying around in my stash that I was going to get ready to get rid of, but I had enough to make a cool bowl cozy. Now you don't have to have it where it's all one color. I just like it that way just because I like some of them like that. I like some of them to have reverse, but it just, I don't know. I like the way it looks when it's all one print. So when it's reverse, there's no way of telling. So what some of the tools we're going to need, you're going to need your Creative Grid small bowl cozy template. I am going to put an Amazon link where you can get one on Amazon, but I highly implore you to go to your local quilt store. They'll have it, or maybe a Joann's, and you can get a discount. The link that I'm going to give you has no affiliation whatsoever. And then I'm going to use a large ruler to do some marking for my quilting. You're going to need your pattern pieces cut out. You're going to need 2 pieces, one for the lining and one for the front. As you can see, I'm doing the same color again, something nice and bright. And then I pinned with already cotton thread on it, some gypsy cotton, 100% cotton batting. You can get this at Joann's, Michael's, pretty much Hobby Lobby. You can get it online at Amazon, quilt stores. 100% cotton, nothing polyester, nothing fleece, none of that. Because if you do that, unfortunately, again, if it goes in the microwave, it could set a fire, and we don't want that. So I placed a couple of pins to keep my batting and my my batting and my fabric together, but I want to unpin one so you can see how this gets cut. You are going to take your fabric, you're going to fold it, and this has a really cool tool where it says folded edge goes on one side, and then the folded edge goes on the other. Then you take your rotary cutter and you cut around. And then when you unfold it, kind of like any beautiful origami, you have your piece, and then you do the same thing with your batting. Now, while you have your fabric out, you can start making marks to where you want your quilt marks to be. I'm going to do a simple X so that way that the video doesn't seem like it's forever. You don't have to really quilt it if you don't want to. It just gives it a little bit more pizzazz, you know? So I'm going to move my cutting one, and then I'm going to draw a line. Now you can use chalk, or you can use an air erasable pen, test it on fabric beforehand, whatever is easier for you. I'm going to use an air erasable pen so you guys can see. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Give it a nice finger press so that way we can get that crease. They look like little T's. Get everything lined up. All right. So then I'm going to take my pen, put my cap on so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to put my batting down. Lay my fabric on top of it. And the great thing about the gypsy batting, I don't know if it's just gypsy because I have a tendency of using them a lot, but the fabric really wants to cling to it. So I let it. I just position it, and you can use pins to keep it in place if you wish, but you'll see that it like kind of wants to become one. If you want to use pins, you can put it around the lines that you made, so that way you're not sewing in the lines, so nothing just moves and adjusts. Okay, let's bring this over. And we're going to just sew. We're going to stitch this X. I'm using 100% cotton. I'm using sulky on the top thread and Aurifil on the bottom. I'm using a 2.5 stitch length with a 8014 needle. You can actually go a little smaller. It was just the needle that I had inside, so I was like, hey. We have our beautiful X's, and make sure you snip those threads. I'm going to remove these pins and put them back on my magnetic bowl, and then we're going to do the same to the other side. I'm going to remove these pins. We're just going to crease it. Then we're going to line it up with our ruler and use an air soluble pen. I'm using Sew Line. It's air erase. It works really well. And we're going to do this on the other side. Get a nice crease. Let's see. Okay. All right. So we're going to let's see. Put this on here and throw a couple pins to make sure nothing shifts while we're sewing. Like I said, you don't have to, but you never, something always sometimes can shift. You never know. Just pop a couple pins in there so that way it can just stay in place. And let's go bring it back to the machine. Going to do that 2.5 stitch. Line all the way across. And then we're going to do that on the other side. Now you could do more quilting than this. I just wanted to do something that where you're not here all day like, oh, she's just making nice little stiples. Yay! Fun time sewing. So we're going to now take these pieces and I'm going to make sure that all my tails are trimmed as best as I possibly can. Let's see. Then we're going to place these right sides together. Before I start, I like to, oh, we're not placing them right sides together. I'm sorry. Before I start, I like to have where I'm going to make an opening. I like to try to make an opening big enough that I can turn things without like tearing any stitches. So we're going to take these and we're going to fold them into their darts and we're going to sew a half, not a half inch, 1/4 of an inch down. Now what you could do is you can pin so that you're ready your darts on one side. Do the same thing on the other. The darts is what gives it the shape. And then we can start sewing. 1/4 of an inch, back stitch in the beginning and the end. And I'm just going to trim. Don't sew over your needles. There are magic needles that you can sew over. I still freak out over those. And we're just going to sew all the darts. I feel like this is a really great scrap buster. Like, you see how the bowl's starting to take place, the cozy. Especially if you have like a bin like mine and you're like, okay, it's the end of the year, it's time to clear out. And you're like, but I don't want to get rid of this scrap because this fabric reminds me of blah, blah, blah. Making a bowl cozy. I feel like you can never have too many of those. We have one bowl already. Let's see, I gotta rethread that real quick. That happens from time to time, especially if I'm sewing like a speed racer. If I can trim the end would be awesome. I haven't had coffee today, so in all fairness, normally if I have coffee, I can thread a needle without even looking. Okay. And again, I did not throw the thread, hold the thread. Shanova, Shanova, Shanova. Okay, sorry about that. Let's hold these tails and let's go. All right, and we only have one more side to go. Okay, last side. Trimming those threads that I did that are rogue. Okay, we're going to start pinning the 2 bowl pieces in together as I rethread this machine for the umpteenth time because something. It could be anything. They can get finicky off of the most littlest thing. It's normal. Okay. It's ready to go. All right. So let's see. We have our air erasable. What I want to do is I'm going to take one and turn it right sides out. And I'm going to match and kind of butterfly the side seams so that they're like this. And then I'm going to take a pen and place it there. So I like to go to see. Now you could do one seam, one side, one has one way and the other side has the other for the seams. You could do that as well. It's not a lot of fabric, so you can explore your options. Just matching seam to seam. All right. Now, for that area that we're going to stop and start at, I'm going to match my stitching that I did for the quilting and put a pin on both here and there so that I know that this is our opening. And I'm just going to pop a pin in between each layer just to make sure nothing shifts and moves. And when I get to my quilting, I'm just going to try to match it as best as I can so that way it looks seamless on one side. Okay. And we're almost done. Matching those stitching. All right. So I'm going to start where on one of the sides that we had for, I'm going to start right here where we have the double pins, where we're going to start at, and we're going to stop on this pin up here. So here we go, and we're going to do it at 1/4 of an inch. Now, right when I get down into a dip, I'm going to put my needle down, pivot, and bring it back up. It's going to be small. It's a small little V. Going around, removing the pins as I go. And see, this is going to go down into a little bit of a V. Stop at the seam, position my needle down, and then I'm going to go back up. It's a very, very small. You won't really notice it. You could probably go around it without doing it. It's just something that I'm very cognizant about because I want it to be defined when I make the bowl. Small dip, needle down in the seam, go back up. All right, we're to the part where we're going to stop, so I'm going to back stitch well and then trim my tails on both sides. Okay, so where we have that little bit of a dip, I'm going to cut a little bit of a triangle, not cutting into the seam, the stitches, just within the seam allowance, and it just helps lets that little dip sit better when we turn it right sides out. Again, not cutting into the stitch line, and that could be hard, so take your time. It's just a little notch, a little V, and I think all sides are done. So what we're going to do is, if I had my iron here, I would tell you to press the opening. I'm going to finger press it as best as I can. Press the opening, open prior, and it'll sit prettier. I'm just going to finger press it like this real quick. It'll sit prettier when once we're done turning. All right, so what I do is, like a sock, I just kind of roll with my fingers. Oh, don't pop any stitches. If you do, it's going to be okay. We can fix it in the last top stitching. Or if it's too bad, we can turn that part back right sides out. Like I have it popped a couple. I'm just going to go back and turn it the wrong sides out and just fix those. It only popped like 6 stitches, but still. Whatever can make this easier, you know what I mean? Okay. So if you accidentally pop a stitch, just turn it back wrong sides out and then fix it. And as you can see, I'm trying to slightly pull on, tugging on the seam so that way it can try to lay in place. I'm just going to pop some pins in the opening. Trim any extra little things that are trying to pop up. I'm just rolling out those seams. You could take it to your iron if you want to press it. Okay, this is turning out nice. Okay, so I'm going to trim up my tails, and I'm going to get this machine threaded for the 6th time. It's so used to polyester that it's probably like, why is there cotton in me? I love this top thread. This sulky is like I think a 40 weight, and it's really, really nice. I've had it for a few years. It's for quilting, for like, it's a beautiful thread to work with. The Aurifil is Aurifil. It's always great to work with. All right, so we're going to go around this and top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. Take your time, go with each curve. Make sure you back stitch well at the beginning and the end. And you can go from the inside to the outside. It doesn't matter. It's whatever your preference is. Make sure you pivot on those V's. And you remember, you're just trying to get those seams down. I'm removing those pins as I go. All right, we're going to trim those threads. And there you go. We have another bowl cozy. And then, like, what I like about them is that the more unique the fabric and bright and vivid the fabric is, the funner they get. So you could just stack them on top of each other. Like I said, these can be gifts for so many reasons. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy, you know, winter solstice, happy, oh, you just moved into your new apartment, happy, oh my God, you graduated college and you're going to be eating top ramen for the next 4 years. Here you go. Like, it could... It could be for so many occasions. So I love this. I was so happy when I found this Creative Grid. I did not know they had it. You can get it in so many locations. It has that standard, like Creative Grid, like grip right here. So I really love how they have the grip so that it doesn't just slide. It has a QR code right here where that can give you the instructions on how you cut it, and they'll show you a guide. But it's it's easy as long as you have your pieces on the fold. You are golden and you're ready to go, and then you have it. And then what I love about this is it comes in 2 sizes. So I did the small with you guys, but there is a large, which I'm going to do and make because my husband loves eating like big bowls of chili or soup or gumbo, and they'll be perfect. So you can kind of make them really fun. And then the thing I love the most is that it could be a fabric buster. So you're not wasting fabric, and it can be something you can utilize at home or gift to others or sell at craft marts. So Creative Grid, I would go to either their website to get the template, Joann's, like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, at your local quilt store, and get it from there. But I will put a link where I've seen that you can get them on Amazon. It is not affiliate. If you do like this video and if you want to see more things that are not bag related but still sewing related, sound off in the comments. Tell me what you would like to see. Make sure you punch the like button, punch it hard in his face, and I love this video, and hit that notification so you can be notified when I make any kind of videos. If you love this project and you're like, dude, I want to support you, Shnova, I want to get you a cup of coffee, I will put my Ko-fi information down in below too. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and until the next time I see you, stay safe, happy sewing. Bye.